It's all covered in today's China Truths.
China is now facing a crisis that no amount of censorship can contain. With brutal heat waves pushing ground temperatures past 70 degrees in cities across the country, a horrifying pattern has emerged. Electric vehicles spontaneously catching fire. Streets, garages, highways, now scenes of explosions and panic. These aren't isolated incidents. They're symptoms of a deeper problem few dare to speak about. For years, China raced ahead in the global electric vehicle race, proudly claiming the title of world leader. With state support, generous subsidies, and aggressive production mandates, Chinese brands like BYD, NIO, and XPeng flooded the market. From the skyscrapers of Shanghai to the rural roads of Gansu, EVs became not just common, but political symbols of modernity, environmental leadership, and economic strength. But behind the glossy paint and sleek designs lies a fragile system. A poorly regulated industry driven by speed over safety. Smaller manufacturers cut corners to survive. Batteries vary wildly in quality. Safety tests are rushed, and charging infrastructure remains patchy and inconsistent. The warning signs were always there, buried in technical reports, whispered in tech forums. But they were easy to ignore until the heat wave hit. Since May 2025, much of China's central and southern regions have been scorched by record-breaking temperatures. Asphalt surfaces in provinces like Sichuan, Hunan, and Guangdong have exceeded 65 degrees. Ground-level thermometers have recorded blistering highs above 70 degrees. In these conditions, EVs have begun to combust without warning. Some while idling, others right after being unplugged. One video from Nanjing captured an electric car bursting into flames within seconds of finishing a charge. No crash, no smoke, just sudden ignition. In Wuhan, a parked EV taxi exploded near a shopping center, injuring 2 pedestrians. The footage vanished from social media within hours. Fire departments in cities like Chongqing and Hangzhou have been overwhelmed. Internal memos have leaked, revealing instructions on how to handle EV battery fires, blazes that can't be put out with water and require chemical foam many smaller stations don't have. At the same time, hospitals are treating more burn victims, including children, but staff are reportedly barred from disclosing causes to the media. Still, no recalls, no manufacturer investigations, no regulatory action. Instead, government channels quietly push tips about hot weather maintenance, hoping to shift blame onto users. Online forums like Jihu and Weibo are filling up with desperate EV owners sharing photos of melted dashboards, swollen battery packs, and charred interiors. Questions like, "Should I stop using my EV this summer?" are quickly deleted. Posts warning of similar fires in local communities disappear within minutes. Faced with mounting danger and little guidance, some cities are taking matters into their own hands. In Fuzhou, street-level charging stations are now restricted during midday hours. Several apartment complexes in Shenzhen have banned charging in underground garages altogether, but these are band-aid solutions to a structural wound. While BYD issued a vague statement urging safe usage, other brands like NIO and XPeng have remained silent. Foreign automakers such as Volkswagen and Tesla, however, are reportedly reviewing safety protocols for their EVs in China, a move that only highlights the lack of transparency from domestic companies. This is no longer just an overheating issue. It's a public safety crisis, and China's first major reckoning with its own EV ambitions. The green dream is beginning to backfire, both figuratively and literally. Fear is spreading faster than the flames. In some neighborhoods, residents now avoid parking garages entirely, opting to walk or bike under the blazing sun, terrified their vehicle might explode next. Let's talk about how scorching the summer heat in Henan really is. You can't imagine how unbearable it gets at home. It's so hot, I can't even touch anything. It just breaks apart. Look at this fan. It's been left out in the sun and warped. This iron shed, burning to the touch. A man says, "You want to know how hot Henan is? Just watch. I went for a short jog this morning, and this is what happened. I'm completely drenched. It's unbelievable." A woman adds, "This is insane. Hurry up, let's get out of here." At a traffic light, someone waits in the sweltering heat. I've only been standing here for a moment and I'm already soaked in sweat. I can't even explain it. Why are my shoes melting? Across China, a massive, intense heat wave is sweeping through. Temperatures in parts of southern Hebei, western Shandong, Henan, central Shanxi, and northern Hubei have exceeded 40 degrees C. Reports of heat-related disasters are emerging from multiple provinces. In Henan, the heat is so intense that some households have seen their glass windows literally explode from thermal stress, cracking like spider webs. Even geese have been found dead in ponds due to the extreme temperatures. In this episode, we'll show you just how brutal this heat wave really is. Footage from Henan shows another window shattered from the heat. "Look here," a resident says. "This piece exploded on its own. This is the third one I've seen in just a few days. You can see how the glass fragments. This wasn't broken by force. It simply couldn't handle the heat." In another clip, a sausage left in the sun turns into a grilled sausage within seconds. Moments later, it burns to a crisp. "This heat is truly unbearable," someone says. A woman shares, "Let me show you just how hot it's been these days." A man responds, "Everyone, look closely. You won't believe what I found today." In Zhengzhou, another man records glass windows exploding in the sun. One woman pleads, "Old Yang, can we stop working now? It's over 40 degrees. It's too hot to bear. You always say there's something to do whether it's sunny, cloudy, day or night, but I can't take it anymore. I need a break." The man replies, "This is how life is. We all have to keep going." Another man jokes bitterly, "Dear Lord, this isn't Huoyan Mountain, it's Henan. If it keeps getting hotter, we'll have to rename Henan to Razilla Island." With temperatures reaching 44 degrees Celsius, the highest in recorded history for the region, residents are stunned. "It hasn't been this hot since Emperor Qianlong's reign more than 200 years ago," one local says sarcastically. Authorities are urging people not to go outside. If you haven't left home yet, don't. Especially the elderly, children, and pregnant women, stay indoors. The weather report says 39 degrees C, but in direct sunlight it feels like 50 degrees C. Inside the Zhengzhou subway station, people seek refuge from the blazing heat. "This is the only place we can escape the sun while still trying to earn a living," one worker says quietly. "It's too hot to even talk." Even animals are suffering. In some areas, the water temperature in ponds has reached over 45 degrees C. Geese are dying from the heat. Black fish fry placed in these ponds are at risk of death unless emergency cooling is used. China's scorching summer. Henan reaches historic temperatures. China is being gripped by an unprecedented heat wave, with Henan province among the hardest hit. Temperatures in northern, central, eastern, and southern Henan have all soared past 40 degrees, with parts of Linzhou and Zhengzhou peaking above 42 degrees. On July 15th, Zhengzhou was forecast to hit 44 degrees, just shy of the national all-time record of 44.4 degrees, set in Beijing in 1743. The feels-like temperature reached a staggering 52 degrees C, while road surface temperatures exceeded 70 degrees C in many areas. These extreme conditions have caused roads to melt and warp, significantly increasing the risk of tire blowouts. In Zhengzhou, 27 people were hospitalized for heatstroke in a single day, with 6 suffering multiple organ failure. The city's power grid has hit a record peak, equivalent to running 3 million air conditioners at once. The heat is also devastating local farms. One Henan goose farmer reported 5 geese dying in the pond due to the heat, despite their natural heat resistance. Even his thermometer needle bent under the extreme sun. He's resorted to spraying well water daily to keep the remaining animals cool. Elsewhere, fish and chickens are dying, and agricultural losses are mounting. Experts estimate the heat wave could cost China's breeding industry over 20%. Online, residents are documenting the chaos. "Is Henan hot?" one man says. "Hot enough to melt electric vehicles." "It's 48.1 degrees C, a woman jokes, just one spice away from being grilled meat. In Zhengzhou, a car left on asphalt sank into a melted patch of road. In Chengdu, a beer-drinking statue exposed to direct sun reached over 50 degrees C. The seat of a nearby shared bike, a shocking 74 degrees C. In Xi'an, thermometers maxed out at 100 degrees while measuring ground temperatures. In Hangzhou, one woman was sunburned after just a day outdoors, with clear tan lines despite not expecting the intensity. Even under these deadly conditions, some workers are still doing high-voltage electrical repairs, 12 meters in the air, in over 60 degrees C surface heat. Dormitories without air conditioning have turned into furnaces. "I'm sweating through my cotton blanket," one student said. "This isn't normal heat, it's suffocating." By July 15th, weather stations across China reported record-breaking highs. Turpan, Xinjiang, 42.6 degrees C. May County, Shanxi, 41.4 degrees, a new July record. Multiple cities, surface temperatures over 71 degrees C. From melting roads to mass animal deaths, the message is clear. This is not a typical summer. This is a warning. And it's only getting hotter. In mid-July, China recorded one of the most intense heat waves in history. On July 15th, between 1 o'clock and 2 p.m., ground temperatures in Wugong, Shanxi soared to an astonishing 72.9 degrees C, setting a new record for mid-July. Lintong wasn't far behind, reaching 72.1 degrees C, tying the highest ground temperature ever recorded in that area. The China Weather Network has issued warnings that the extreme heat will persist. Many regions, including Qinghai, Sichuan, Shanxi, Chongqing, Hubei, Hunan, Henan, and Shanxi, are bracing for dangerously hot conditions rarely seen before. As we step into 2025, can't you feel it? Heat waves, earthquakes, floods, and droughts, they're no longer isolated events. They're coming one after another, like dominoes falling. You might say this is fear-mongering, but take a look at ancient wisdom. Many proverbs warn that extreme heat leads to drought, which often triggers floods and earthquakes. Still don't believe it? Just look at history. The late Ming Dynasty under Chongzhen, the famine of 1942, or the disasters during the Dingwu era. Again and again, droughts were followed by floods, earthquakes, disease, and even war. These disasters don't come alone. They travel in packs.
Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. We will keep reporting on the COVID surge in China, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to get the latest videos. And thank you for tuning in.